Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, welcome to Mad Creative Life. This is just my channel where I share mainly yoga, art, a lot of travel vlogs lately. So it's sort of like a mix of different things in my life, but a main focus on art and yoga. I have also been starting to do these card chats where I talk about different topics, and I'm really liking this kind of thing. If you guys are, definitely be sure to like this video and leave me a comment on what you think of these, what topics you would be excited to hear me talk about, and definitely feel free to engage in the comments and share your opinion about whatever the topic is in the video, I guess. Anyway, before I start the video, I just wanted to address the elephant in the room. Yes, if you didn't know, I cut my hair off and dyed it blonde. I just really needed a change. I felt like I was hiding behind my hair because it was like really long and scraggly. I hadn't gotten it cut or even trimmed in a long time, and I was letting like the color grow out, and I just sort of felt like I was hiding behind a curtain of hair, and I really needed just like a fresh new look. So yeah, I hacked off like half my hair. As you can see, I went for like a mullet situation, which I never ever thought I would get a mullet. Like if you would have asked me a few years ago, would you ever get a mullet? I'd say ew, no, but I totally went for it. It's becoming like more of a trendy thing nowadays, I guess, but I like it for practicality. So now I can like wear my hair down and it doesn't get in my face at all because I hacked off like all the way back behind my ears. I did do it myself. I have a TikTok on it, and I think I've shared it as a reel on here by this point. So I guess a YouTube short, sorry, reels, TikToks, YouTube shorts, it's all the same thing. It's like 60 seconds of video. I did a lot of it myself. I did, however, end up going into a hair cutting place and having somebody help me with the rest. I just really needed help with the layering for the whole long part of the hair, and I had her layer a little bit of the bangs that I had cut too because it was like a lot. So I personally did not like this look when my hair was brown, so I bleached it really light. So yeah, that was just a really quick update about my hair. I changed my look, and to be honest, I feel like it's more me. It feels really fresh. It feels so good to have like half that hair gone out of my face, and I'm in love with it. I love this haircut, and I'm excited to try out different hairstyles because I think it's gonna look like really cute in like a high ponytail, or maybe like little buns and stuff. So yeah, I think it's just gonna be really fun. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to be sharing, as you can probably read from the title of this video, why I'm a bad friend. And to be honest, I feel like this title is only semi-clickbait. Of course, I wanted the title to be eye-catching, but at the same time, it's kind of true what I'm about to say. Like, I am kind of a bad friend, and I'm not afraid to admit that. I feel like anybody that is my friend kind of understands, and if you don't understand what I mean, just listen to the video. So, reason number one why I'm a bad friend: I am terrible at keeping in touch. I'm just gonna start off really big, okay? Really bad at keeping in touch. I am like usually never the friend to text and reach out first. I'm trying to improve on that. By the way, everything I'm saying, I'm really trying to work on it. Bad at texting first, bad at calling, bad at setting up hangouts. It's not that I'm bad at these things, I just never do it first. I have a couple reasons for why. I actually think about my friends and loved ones a lot. I think about them like on a daily basis, and I'm always thinking and feeling good things about them. And honestly, I'm often missing the people that I love, that are far away, that I would reach out to and keep in touch with. And you'd be thinking, well, that's an easy solution. You miss them, text them, right? Yeah, it sounds like that. And then I go to do it, and I start like talking myself out of doing it. I'm like, what if they're busy? What if they think it's weird that I reached out of the blue to say I miss you? What if this person secretly doesn't like me and would be annoyed that I would reach out and text them or call them? What if this person secretly is thinking like all these negative things about me, and then I reach out and they're like, oh, they're only reaching out to me because I'm doing so well, or my life is so great right now. By the way, just a side note, that's never why I'm reaching out to somebody. If somebody's doing great, I actually tend to leave them alone because I'm like, oh, if you're doing great, I'm so happy for you. I'll let you continue being happy. I feel like I have a million reasons why I talk myself out of reaching out to somebody that I love and care about. So in a nutshell, that's reason number one why I'm a bad friend. I'm really bad at keeping in touch. So I'm sorry. I promise you, it does not mean that I don't love you and don't care about you. I promise you, it's just because I'm constantly going through a million reasons in my head why I shouldn't bother this person in their life. So it's actually the opposite. If I'm not reaching out to you, it's because I love you so much. I would not want to like disturb your life in any way. So I know that sounds like a weird way to show love or express love, but that is like genuinely where I'm coming from. And I think I'm just really shy. It maybe doesn't seem like in this video, and this haircut definitely is not screaming shy at all, but I am shy. Especially like, it's like the more I admire and love you, the shyer I am of you. So that's reason number one. Reason number two why I'm a bad friend. If I feel really comfortable around you, I'm probably going to get to a point in our friendship where I feel like safe enough to express how I really feel about things. And how I really feel about things is not always happy and positive and namaste. Some people might find this disingenuous, and in a lot of ways it is. But I like to put my best foot forward. I think a lot of people do this too. I like to put my best foot forward when starting a new relationship, friendship, whatever, a new connection with somebody. And I like to show them how I can be positive, energetic, somewhat spontaneous, really helpful, fun. I like to show that part of myself. And the reason is, shocker, people like positivity. People like the joyful, uplifting person. So of course that's who I want to be. The other thing is though, nobody is 100% positive and happy all the time. And while I definitely do my absolute best to bring my best energy forward when visiting with somebody, talking with somebody, meeting with somebody, that's not always possible though. Sometimes there are hard days, sometimes there are unplanned meetings, and I just can't seem to really turn it around that well all the time. Another thing is also, like I said, if I have gotten to a point where I'm very, very comfortable around somebody, usually over time, then there will be times when I'm like genuinely expressing my sadness or anxiety or even my anger. Another side of myself that I've been newly expressing to friends in my life, which catches them by surprise and they don't tend to like it, is jadedness. Jadedness. That's something two of my good friends actually have both encountered with me this year. And they're like, where is this coming from? Why are you so jaded? And I straight up just answered, again, because I was feeling jaded. I've always been this way. I just haven't shown it to you. And some people might say that sounds kind of mean, but I actually believe it's one of the more genuine times in my life. I think the times I can just be a human and be actually expressing how I genuinely feel in a situation, I think that's actually being more authentic than faking a smile and gritting my teeth and pretending everything is okay and everything's cool when it's not. Yes, sorry. I'm sorry I'm a bad friend, and I'm sorry if you don't always like what you see or what you get or what you hear from me, especially if I'm not in a positive mood. I would also like to add on to that and say I'm never trying to come across as mean or rude. I'm usually just expressing genuine, this frustrates me, this upsets me, this worries me. It's always coming from a place of, something's not right and I'm just trying to get through and trying to figure it out, and sometimes I need to talk to somebody, like help work through that. It's never coming from a place of like I'm trying to hurt you, So reason number three, which is kind of similar to number two, I guess, I'm not the best at processing my feelings and emotions. And that kind of goes with reason two, because people don't always like when I'm expressing like genuine feelings. And some of that could be because I am not the best at processing emotions. I've realized this over time, and I think it's taken me longer to realize this than I would have liked. But yeah, if I'm like, especially anger, that's like one, I've made a video dealing with anger. That's something that's like always been a trigger point for me. When I get angry about something, it's really hard for me to get through it because it's one of those things that keeps building and building, and it's almost like it blazes and burns a lot more before it gets better. Yeah, so I don't think anybody is like amazing at processing their emotions, but I definitely think there are some people that are better at it than others. I'm not necessarily better at it. I think I've dealt with my emotions by suppressing them for many years. I think that was like my way of dealing with it, but it doesn't actually deal with it. It's just a way to kind of like shove it in a closet and like try not to explode in front of people. So yeah, sometimes when emotions do come up, I think it can be a little surprising and challenging for a friend who, again, if I'm used to showing them only my positive side, they wouldn't understand. It would be like a new experience for them to deal with me when I'm not positive, and then to recognize like, oh, maybe this friend needs a little help in certain emotions could be like a new thing for them. So again, another reason why I'm a bad friend is I'm still learning and in the process of dealing with my emotions in a more mature way. I feel like I've made a lot of progress over the years, but I definitely understand there's room for growth, as there always will be. Reason number four why I'm a bad friend is quality time binging. I don't know what else to call this, but I've noticed that there'll be periods of time where I try to visit and spend quality time with like a certain friend or a few friends or something, and I'll do that for like a while, and then all of a sudden like I'll just drop off the face of the map and you won't hear from me for like months. So the good part is it's like in the beginning or for that period of time I am texting that friend regularly or semi-regularly. I will drive out and make the effort to go to that friend and meet with that friend and like hang out with them and have lots of conversations. Like that's something that if you like one-on-one conversations, I'm really good at that. Or even like small group conversations, I'm really good at that. I could talk for hours with somebody about so many different topics. I really don't judge, like, you know, I don't judge someone else's opinion. In fact, I welcome differing opinions, and I just really like can find a million things to like discuss, basically. I also find myself, especially for like birthdays or holidays and stuff, sometimes I can be like really generous with the gifting, and like, you know, I'll give the person gifts, or I'll just stop by and drop this, oh, I was thinking of you, or I saw this and thought of you, and like I'll be doing that with like the gifts too, along with quality time. So that all sounds really great. I think my problem is I am not consistent with it. So what makes me a bad friend is, instead of seeing that person regularly over like a longer period of time, it'll be like these binge sessions of like a few weeks or even a few months of like regular nurturing of the connection, and then all of a sudden, like, something will happen, or I'll go on a trip or something, like something will happen in life that it's different, and then I just drop off the face of the earth. And when that happens, it's really hard to get me back in. That's another reason why I'm a bad friend. I go through binge sessions of giving somebody all of my love and attention, and then for whatever reason, I just am gone. I'm gone. And unless the other person in the connection initiates the texting, the calling, they don't even have to come up with where we hang out or where we meet, but they have to like initiate it and start it. Unless the other person is doing that, I'm usually not the one to do that. Reason number 5, I think I'm on reason number 5. I'm pretty sure. Reason number 5, why I'm a bad friend. I'm one of those people that tends to prioritize, call it an excuse if you want, it totally is, but it's the truth. I'm one of those people that tends to prioritize work, projects, and making money over having fun, hanging out with people, and nurturing my connections. I have tried so hard to switch this around and make people more the focus of my life, but it's almost like I'm hardwired or like addicted to this chasing or like this rat race kind of thing, like making money. And unfortunately, it's not like at this point in my life, it's not like I'm addicted to working at a steady career and making great salary and having that. If I did that, I think I would actually have a better social life, because I'd have a regular schedule, and then I would really want to make time for friends and things like that and have fun and go out. But because that's not my current situation, I find myself working a lot of odd jobs, side jobs, and doing the grunt work and like the hustle. So because I'm constantly like hustling around and my schedule is like non-regular, and I'm doing like a whole bunch of side projects, and I have like all these other ways of making income, then it really is sort of like a rat race. It really does feel like I'm running around and trying to make money and like trying to like schedule work, and, you know, just to barely be able to pay bills. And I really hate saying this on camera because it's embarrassing to me. Like, I want to be somebody that's really financially secure and really financially stable, and, you know, to admit that like I'm somebody that can't just or won't just like settle down with a regular career and make money and actually like make enough, you know, like I'm just like barely getting by. It's almost like I'm driven by like anxiety or fear, and it puts me into somewhat of a survival mode. So like I'm constantly running around and chasing work and money and projects that I feel like if I work and develop this project enough, it will pay out for me, right? Because I'm doing that and I'm put in a survival mode because I feel like I'm forced to make money to pay bills, then of course that's my number one priority. Going out to eat or going out and spending money, going out and hanging out with people, in my mind, that to me, I don't mean this disrespectfully, but it feels like a waste of time, which it's totally not, by the way. Having fun and enjoying life is the point. That's like the point of life, is to have those connections and to enjoy your life and to have fun. That really is the point. So it's actually kind of, I recognize, I can like logically understand and recognize why what I'm doing is totally backwards, but that's just how life feels right now. And so it feels like I can't really relax. It feels like the second I just relax and do something that is meaningless, and by meaningless I mean I'm not doing it to get money, or I'm not doing it to invest in my future, or I'm not doing it to have some sort of like usually financial gain out of it, then to me I'm like, well, I'm just throwing away time that I could be making money. And again, if anybody knows anything about manifestation, or like if you watch my video about manifestation, I recognize I am doing some things that are totally backwards. It's out of fear. It literally is just out of fear. It's out of fear that I'm not gonna have enough money, and then I'm gonna like be in debt, and there's like all that, you know? So yeah, long story short, that's reason number 5 why I'm a bad friend. I tend to prioritize work, projects, and making money over spending time with friends and going out and having a good time. And just to keep this video short, let's just have reason number 6. This is gonna be the final reason. I get lonely. I get lonely. Now, with modern therapy and coaching, people are recognizing and waking up to the importance of emotional health and mental health, and that's becoming more mainstream in society, which is a really, really good thing. It really is, and it's helping a lot of people, and people are becoming kinder to each other and kinder to themselves because they're recognizing and understanding that mental and emotional health are interlinked, and it's a really crucial part of life and how we can really thrive in life and not just run around and survive. I am somebody that has done therapy a few times and seen counselors a lot in my youth, sometimes by choice, sometimes not. And one thing I've come to a conclusion of more recently, surprisingly, I can't believe I never got to this point earlier, but recently I learned that I'm incredibly lonely. I'm not somebody that goes out, and I've had moments in my life where I've been different and I've like lived on my own, you know, or with my partner at the time. I've seen somebody that I liked that caught my interest and went out and became friends with them and like initiated a friendship, and I would like choose my friends. And that was one of the more happier times in my life. Those times in my life were short-lived, and I'd have like a couple years of that where things were great with people I chose to be in my life. But then I feel like oftentimes I either do one of two things. One, I revert to aloneness, which means that's my natural state. I retreat and I just spend a lot of time by myself. And it's not like I'm doing nothing and like eating my own tail or anything like that, so to speak, but I like read a lot of books and listen to a lot of audios and do like artwork and journaling. And I basically do everything you can possibly do solo. I just do it, or I read about it, I learn about it. In a lot of ways, it's a great time for growth. I'm developing self-skills and self-mastery in a certain way, but one of the major trade-offs that I've found that can actually be pretty debilitating is I'm trading social connection and even physical connection. I'm trading a lot of connection that I get with friends, family, community for isolation and solitude. And for the majority of my life, I never saw a problem with that. Like, not at all. Like, it never bothered me. I never felt like I was sick. I never felt like I had a problem. But then more recently, when I was doing therapy, my therapist asked me about friends, and I said, I have like a couple friends in the area, and I realized I only see them like maybe 3 times a year. That's not enough to really develop a strong connection, and I know that they care about me, and I know I care about them. I also don't blame them, by the way, for like not reaching out and hanging out more, because if I'm only giving like this amount of effort in the initiation, then that sort of signals to them maybe I don't care as much, maybe I don't care about the friendship as much, and so why should they have to reach out and initiate it all the time, or why should they have to put more effort into a friendship that the other person's not giving that much effort into, right? I totally understand that. I have no ill will or feelings towards anybody in my life that has that connection with me right now, like at all. So I was like going through this, and all of a sudden it hit me. I felt like this pit in my core, and it's something that I felt many times in my life, and I realized I was even swimming in it and basking in it a lot in my life, where it felt like home. It felt familiar. It felt like it was me, or it felt like it was this deep essence of me. But I think what I was swimming in was loneliness. I think I had gotten so familiar with the feeling of being alone and isolated and lonely. I had mistaken that feeling for oneness. I believe everybody has a soul within them, and that soul connects us and makes us one. It connects us to all things in the universe. Sometimes I feel it as like a ball of light just in my whole vessel and my whole being, just at the core and center of who I am. I think a lot of people would share that sentiment, and it's like life, you know, or it's like the essence of all life that's found in all things. Like, this isn't hippie woo-woo stuff. Like, this is just the essence of life, to be honest. And it's really beautiful and it's sacred. And to be honest, I think loneliness and oneness are two different sides of the same coin. I think loneliness cannot exist without oneness, and oneness cannot exist without loneliness. So it's not a bad thing that I had been like totally enveloped in loneliness, because that's part of life too. And if you think about it, oneness is connection to all things, and if we're all connected, then we're also all alone as well. But we're not alone, but we are. It's like this whole paradox. If you understand, you understand. So I realized I had been like, and I always experience it as when I close my eyes, it feels like I'm in outer space because everything is black, but there's like, it's almost like there's like stars like millions of miles away from me. Like I'm swimming in this black pool of space matter or something. And the only light is from tiny little holes of like starlight, basically like beaming millions of miles away. It almost feels like I'm swimming in water, but it's also like just space matter and nothingness and darkness, and it's a feeling of isolation. So the reason why this makes me a bad friend is because that's like a core essence that I have embodied and like deeply like found resonance and home in. The loneliness has consumed me in such a way that it's become so familiar. I feel like I've adopted it as a big personality trait. I think I was subconsciously self-sabotaging any relationship I was in somewhat, and that's why I wouldn't initiate texting or calling. That's why I would just drop off the face of the earth and basically see if anybody would even notice or care, and secretly hoping that nobody would come knocking, because that meant I got to be alone again. And I love being alone. I love it. I do. I can find 1,001 ways that I can spend my time alone and do something and work on a new project or make a new painting or pick up a new skill. Anything in the world you can imagine, I will learn how to do it, and I will enjoy doing it, and I can do it by myself, especially with the internet nowadays, where you can look up anything and learn anything. We have no excuses. It's almost like I have no excuse for connection anymore. I can literally just be a hermit and be okay with that. Of course, this doesn't last, because sooner or later, everyone gets lonely to a point where they really, really miss connection. And it either forces you to go out and start connecting again, or you get sick. You get sick in the head and you start thinking nobody loves you. You're unlovable. You're weird. Nobody wants to get to know you. That you're bothering people and they would just rather you don't hit them up or knock on their door or call them up. It starts developing these ideas in your head that keep you isolated, but out of fear instead of because you just want some quality alone time. You develop these ideas that make you sick. They sever even more and they force you not to go outside and be friends. And a lot of it is sneaky. It just creeps up and like it becomes you, and then you start developing these insecurities, thinking everyone in the world hates you and like you're not lovable. And yeah, I didn't recognize this for a long time. I now recognize that loneliness was a part of my personality that I had adopted and found a lot of comfort in. I probably adopted this because it's also a defense mechanism. It's a form of protecting yourself. It's a form of shielding yourself from other people that may hurt you mentally, emotionally, even physically. The less you're connected to somebody, the less they can hurt you because you don't care. So it's definitely a defense mechanism. Again, not trying to make this an excuse. I'm just genuinely sharing why this is a reason I'm a bad friend. So recognizing the loneliness as a personality trait is big, but then also law of attraction. Law of attraction is at play. So because I had this huge pit of loneliness and isolation within me, I was attracting a mix of people in my life. Some of these people were social and outgoing, and they were an opposite to me. And some of these people were also incredibly lonely in some way or another, and that's why they found me. In a strange way, we found refuge. I would meet people and we would find refuge together because we were alone together, and then that meant we weren't alone anymore. And so that kind of like made things better for a while when both of us were seeking connection. But then there would be times where eventually a friend of mine would find new friends, or one of us would move away, right? And then they'd have new friends in the area, right? So they'd move on to a different group or something, right? And then sometimes I would be left watching them from a distance with all of their new friends and finding this weird contradiction within me where one, I was like so happy for them and just so thrilled to see them finding this like new group of friends and family and connection and having that and like genuinely wishing them the best, but then also having this weird coin flip of a feeling like, oh, well, now that they're not alone anymore, they don't want to be around me. They don't want to be around me because I'm a disease, because I'm isolating, because they only found me when they were alone. And now that they're not alone, they wouldn't want to associate with me anymore because I was the lonely one. I would basically be like, I don't know, I just saw myself as like a disease, right? So it's not feeling bad that they have connection, it's being happy for them, but then turning that around and feeling bad about myself, which is really toxic. That's like a really toxic way to think about yourself. And so yeah, I'm really happy that I got to share that. Sorry if this video is getting really long, but I really wanted to make it. I felt like it's important. Definitely leave a comment down below and let me know if any of this resonates with anyone, or if you've experienced experienced similar thoughts or feelings. If you were an actual friend of mine in person and I missed a few things while I'm a bad friend, please feel free to leave comments that you feel like are valid to this video of why I'm a bad friend. I mean that in a joking way, but also a serious way, like whatever, I'll take some criticism. Yeah, I just want to also, just to end this video, say I don't hate myself. I don't think I'm a terrible person. You know, it's just one of those things that now that I have awareness about some of my weak points, I'm more conscious about working on them, and I'm also a little more forgiving with myself when I'm not perfect in those areas. So that's something that I have been working on, and something that has actually made a change for the better. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay up to date on all my new videos. I'm trying to post a lot more regularly, and so far I'm succeeding, so let's hope that that trend continues. I also now have a Discord and small community, but I'm hoping to grow it. Again, like I said, I'm a bad friend, so we'll see. My community skills online have not been the best. I usually don't comment and stuff on other people's things because, again, I keep feeling like nobody wants to hear my opinion, but that's why I have a YouTube channel, to share my thoughts and opinions for anybody that cares to watch. So I'm sorry if this sounds so negative. I'm really like not trying to sound negative on purpose. It's just, I find this kind of humorous. If you're into that, you're into that. If not, then that's fine. I really don't care. I have a mullet now, okay? This should show you how little I care. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. I hope a lot of you out there are better friends than I am, and bear with me as I progress on my journey of becoming a better friend and better human. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful week. And another car. I need to stop filming videos on the side of the road, but like, it's just so convenient. So, and I don't trust my ability to be able to talk and drive, because I just think that's like too distracting. Like, I can take a phone call, but having like a viewfinder and all that, I don't know, it doesn't, this is the extras. I'm saving this for the extras. Okay, anyway. Oh, and one more. Thank you guys so much for watching.